Only year so me I give a dance pat award, so every jackman and the mama come. I have 3 of these. I came first in social studies class 3 years in a row. So yes, me I go answer you because me did work hard for this. Jamaica has always been a multicultural society with different ethnicities, religions, and cultures. This is in fact the Jamaica I grew up in. This is nothing new. There are Jewish Jamaicans. Hillel Academy, for example, is a Jewish school in Cherry Gardens. We also have a large Syrian and Lebanese population in Jamaica. Most notably, former Prime Minister Edward Seaga, former Miss Jamaica World Lisa Hanna. The Hannas are also business owners alongside the Issas, the Azans, and Amars. So how did they get here? Well, in the 1800s, Lebanese and Syrian Christians that were fleeing religious persecution by Muslim Turks from the Ottoman Empire came to Jamaica. Jamaica's Great Exhibition of 1891 attracted over 300,000 visitors from around the world, many from the Middle East. Guys, I think the lack of awareness stems from schools failing to teach about Caribbean trade and how slavery, politics, and economic circumstances caused people to move around the globe. And so, wave of dunce people descending on my posts. Thank God I had great teachers, because now you know.
Alright, where do I even begin with this? This lady doesn't fail to put herself out there, to check, to correct, to call you dunce and ignorance. Now, growing up, we were like this. You can get into it with your brother. You can get into it with your cousins. But people who are not part of the family better not involve themselves in the middle of those type of situations, because it never turns out good, because the brothers gonna always come back together. But these folks see this fracture within our community throughout the Caribbean. They help towards it. No, she may not have any bad intentions. I'm sure she's naturally doing what she feels is right. But because no one is checking her, she continuously put herself out there. She said that Jamaica was always a multicultural society. So straight up, she is totally ignoring the first 100 plus years of free labor before the Asians came there, before the Indians came there, anybody else came there. She totally just glossed over that, and nobody is checking her. Nobody's saying anything. Throughout the comment section, we have men of African descent, women of African descent, vouching for her, telling her, yes, you're right, the school system is jacked up and so forth. And I say, be careful what you do, because the next generation that comes after her, you are setting the conditions for the next generation that comes after her to be even more disrespectful. It's like a boa constrictor. Once you're grabbed, it's going to get tighter. So once you ignore your own past and allow this woman to say whatever she wants and say that she's handing out Dun Spot Award, and you know she's talking to Africans, she's not talking to nobody else. She's talking to you directly. When you allow things like that to scathe, I'm going to be watching, because I don't want to hear no crying about the government is doing this. I don't want to hear no crying about Asians or Chinese are doing that, because people are not checking her. Right? For some reason, she feel like when she speak hard to you, right? When she speak hard to you, that's supposed to intimidate certain people. But we need to let these folks know that all of us ain't simple like that. You don't just come around and dance and speak a certain way and feel like you're all the way in. I don't care if that person of African descent is from any other country throughout the Caribbean, because that person, let's say they live in St. Vincent, could be even more closely related to someone in Jamaica than other people that live in Jamaica, and vice versa. We were spread throughout the Caribbean, and we need to get it together. So that is why the vanguards are necessary, because we have all these people out there who love entertainment. They love the drama. They cheer for her because she speak reckless and she see how simple you are. She see how simple you are and other people see it. I seen it where people just come around and speak certain patois and all of a sudden people of African descent start grinning up in their face. They don't even be that nice and polite to their own. I remember I used to practice music, right? At the teenage years, even while I was still in high school, we used to practice music at this place. And at night, there was one way in and one way out. One way out. And certain people couldn't go there. Local people. And now when I think back on it, I say that was crazy. Because one day we had this brother grab some dude who's not even of the Caribbean or of the people, and always bring this person there because this person has some musical talent. Right? And these people see how simple we are. Just like I read an article the other day where some European dude was disrespecting Rastafarians, saying Rastafarians is just whatever, talking crazy back and forth because y'all let him in and let him feel too comfortable. You got rid of all the mystery that was there. You ever seen that anytime there is someone of importance or someone who a lot of people in the Caribbean look up to, they always give these folks some type of interview. Always. And they study you and they discover and learn everything about the mystery, the unknown about you. And then they come out and then they make their move. This woman is out of control. This woman is out of control. And people scared to say something about it. And you know why? Because we rely on them too much for everything. We rely on them too much. Who is this lady talking to? And many times I realize too, some of these people, those Afro-Jamaicans who vouch for this lady, they live abroad. They already have developed a life outside of Jamaica, and so they don't care about what happened back on the island. They're basically like, hey, the land is up for everybody because they are benefiting from living abroad. Probably have their European wife or husband and kids, and they don't care. But they push themselves in these conversations. Look, I love my people of the Caribbean, and I'm going to say something about it. We cannot allow this woman to just do whatever she wants, say whatever she wants, and nobody check her. If you say anything crazy about these Asians, they're going to come after you, and she's not going to come out and defend you like that. We cannot allow this because guess what? She cannot control the force, her people that's behind her. She cannot control them. She may not mean bad. I'm sure she's doing what she think come naturally because she need to be comfortable. And any sign of unity of African people, unity and pride of self, it makes these people feel uncomfortable, a lot of them. But if they really care about us, like they say they do, you trying to tell me they don't see what I see? She talked about the people of the Middle East coming over to escape religious persecution. She must have forgot that before slavery, before slavery in the West, there was slavery in the Middle East and North Africa and all those places. She must have forget that. You can still see the separation of the people throughout Jamaica and throughout the Caribbean, and that's another thing. It sounds crazy to me when I hear people say Jamaica is this multicultural place. Tell me what British colony is not a so-called multicultural place. See, don't allow people to make us feel that we are unique and different from the rest of our brothers and sisters throughout the Caribbean. Don't allow them to separate us for themselves. Because guess what? They're going to always have that connection with their people. We got to see the part of history that she's not going to tell you about. For example, I was reading about the Maroons in Dominica, right? And the Kalinago people. How they had people, some of the people living amongst them, right? Some of the people were Europeans. But when the Spanish or the French took over, when the Spanish took over, those people who they had living amongst them, they joined their people and they helped their people situate themselves. So you don't think for once that if something have to pop off and her people roll up on you, that she's not going to assist her people. She may try to help you. Let's give her the benefit of a doubt that she tried to help you. She cannot control the force of her people. She cannot control them. And if she really cares, you trying to tell me she don't see what I see? She don't see that the people of the Caribbean, of Jamaica, was disenfranchised? She don't see what happening with the music industry and everything else? She don't see who owns the businesses? She don't see who's in the ghetto? She don't see that? Don't fool yourself, people. Don't fool yourself. If you're going to combat, you don't want somebody else to have the weapon and the vest on and stuff like that and say, hey, as long as they got it, I'm good. No, you're going to want to protect yourself. So let's wake up. Let's get it together, all right? Let's get it right.